Hey everybody, Badass Mining. I am Shawn, and this is the Irish Rose Dan.
Oh, so I'm only part Irish.
Yeah,
And if you couldn't tell, Sean's a whole lot Irish.
I'm a whole lot Irish. Yes, indeed. So, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm still laughing at that. That was pretty bad. I actually felt sorry for Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, well, you're going to have to actually go back into it for our guests here because they haven't been privy to the last 10 minutes.
Okay, well, we were watching what Irish people try, okay? And that is really funny, and if you haven't watched it, you really need to go to YouTube and watch it because these guys are awesome. So he tells me about Gordon Ramsay trying hot wings. And I was like, where's that? And he goes, back in history. So I go back in history and watch Gordon Ramsay start at like 190 Scovilles and works his way up to, what is it?
2 million.
5 million?
2 million Scoville.
It's really... Well, anyway, he is really having a hard time containing himself completely. He has drank lemon juice, lime juice, milk, water. He's eaten donuts. He's done everything to get the flavor and the hot out of his mouth. And then to top it off, he drinks literally a cup full of Pepto-Bismol.
Yep.
So, anyway, that was awesome. And I love the fact his kids were the ones that just wanted him to be there. That's all there was to it. Wanted him to be there. So he was. But it was great. That was a good one, Sean.
Definitely.
So, it's funny, it took me a long time to like YouTube, but once YouTube blossomed out, it's like, I haven't even watched, matter of fact, I didn't even pay my Hulu account because I'm not even watching it.
And that is
Amazon, yeah.
That is the one thing that I have to say that it was kind of a surprise to me. That I found as much content as what I did that was new and I actually was enjoying because, it seemed like at first it was a lot of rehashing of stories like Reddit and stuff like that, and you go through and they just all kind of end up running together because it's pretty much the same format and just repackaged. And then they started coming out with all these different shows that are they're good enough that they could be pitched on regular channels, on cable channels, and the ideas are fresh and original, and I really like the fact that people are getting more creative with their YouTubes. And okay, I know a lot of people have issues with alcoholism, and that's understandable. It's from person to person, but some of the funniest shows that I have watched lately have been taste tests and different reaction videos to alcohol, and because it's mostly Irish people, and these Irish folks, they've got some personality. They do.
Oh, very much so. And the girls are darling, and the guys are just
awesome. They're awesome.
Just a kick.
Dermot rocks.
So, Dermot rocks. Yes, Dermot rocks. He is hilarious.
Okay, so
I have to Irish Jesus has my vote. I think he is. When he's so hyped up and he is so excited, and then he is like, "Oh my God!"
He seems super naive, though. That's the one. It's like everything that they've got him trying, it's the absolute first time he's ever tried it, ever. And it's like, wow, where did you grow up, dude?
Well, he grew up in Ireland, and he probably grew up in an area where they didn't have a lot of that stuff. I mean,
Well, no, I'm
it's
talking
just,
about everything.
I
I'm talking about Irish stuff, American stuff, anything.
oh,
Coffee.
well, maybe he just didn't ever do it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, we need to get to doing what we're doing.
Yep,
Okay?
I've got my sheet
So,
all broke out here, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the precious metal market real fast here, and let me put
okay.
on my.
Yes.
Oh wow, maybe not. Oh yeah, they're there. I cleaned them. I can see out of them now. I am not looking through my glasses in a fog state anymore. Okay, we've got gold. Gold is going for $1,571 an ounce. Yay! Silver is going for $17.76 an ounce. Seems it took a little bit of a dip, but not too much. It's still holding in there. And the metal, of which I dare not speak its name, which is
Platinum.
is $971. It did come out of that little blip, but not very strongly. This stupid tablet. So anyway, that is the precious metal market from February 7th. Today is February 8th. The market is not open on Saturdays or Sundays, so we're pretty much just reading you the last prices that were recorded for the week. So, and now we have same day, different year, which Tan and I will read off 5 different historical dates that happened on February 8th in years gone by. We have compared notes before the show to make sure that we don't have any duplicates, which we had one again, which Tan got. So anyway,
he's always so generous. He gave it to me. He always gives them to me. He's so sweet.
Well, that's because I believe my resources are a little bit more broad as far as collecting that kind of data, so I can pretty much whip up dates, no problem. But
okay.
So I'm gonna let you go first. Mine are not in order because, as I said, she sniped one of mine, so I had to replace it with another one, which put them way in a weird, funky order. So, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, you can't read the number of the dates. Okay. So, I'm going to start with 1926. This is the one that Shawn gave me because he had a feeling I was going to take it anyway, but he was sweet enough to give it to me. Anyway, Disney Brothers. They have a studio that was called Cartoon Studio. Well, it became Walt Disney Studio. So now we know. Here it goes, Walt Disney, putting his name on everything.
Actually, the original name of the company was Disney Brothers Cartoons.
Yeah.
And all they did was rebrand it to Walt Disney Studios.
Which I think was a really good move.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was, Disney Brothers, okay, come on, and Walt was such the personality to come out to do everything, and,
Yeah, he was definitely the face on it, for sure.
Well, and the cool thing was when I was little, really little, my mom and my cousins and my aunt and uncle used to take me to Disneyland, and we would go by this one street, and my aunt Rita would always point up and go, "That's where Disney lives." And I was like, Oh, well, at that time I didn't realize what it was, but now I do. So
Oh,
I've
his
been there.
apartment? Yeah, because he had an apartment there that whenever he was at his apartment, they would have the light in the window on to let everybody, all the employees, know that they had to be on their best behavior. And
Really?
then
They still do.
when he passed away, they kept the light on permanently. You know,
So
because
they always had to be on bad behavior.
well, no,
Well,
it's because
you know what? I have to admit.
they've got Walt's
I
frozen
have to
head in the
admit.
apartment now.
Yeah. I'm trying to adjust my light because it's really, really bright. Bright, bright, bright. I hope that's okay. Okay,
Yep.
so your turn.
Okay, so let me get back over here. I'm making another cup of coffee. That one did not last me very long at all. Okay, so in 1672, on February 8th, Isaac Newton reads his first optics paper before the Royal Society of London.
Cool.
It was
That is totally.
it was not a very exciting lecture on optics, but it was the first. So,
It was the very first one.
your turn.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
1952. Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the British throne. So, her father died, and this very young lady became the Queen of England for the very first time.
Didn't she
I think she was really
also
brave.
rename the monarchy about that time?
You know, I'm not really too sure.
I
You
think
probably
she
know
did.
more about it than I do.
I think she renamed the monarchy at the same time that she took throne. She oh man, it was I'll have to look it up. It's one of those things yeah. Okay,
It's
so
not Tudors, right?
no,
Yeah,
it's
your turn.
the something and Windsor. Uh, I'll have to look it up. I'm
Yeah.
brain farting. Okay, in 1735, the very first opera in North America colonies, called Flora, opened in Charleston, North Carolina. So had to
I
bring a
saw
little
that.
bit of culture to the joint.
I'm surprised. Yeah, see, that's funny. Because I was going to put that one in there and then decided no.
Yeah,
So
that's
instead, I went political.
well. See, here's the thing: is I try to go with the most sciency, culture type, uh, literature oriented dates and stuff because I know that there's certain subjects that I know are going to attract Tan's attention, and I try everything that I can to not hit the same dates because there's some that are just like uh, they're like shiny red apples just hanging on the branch right within your grasp, and you know for a fact that on the other side of it there's a wormhole. So
So you ready for mine?
yep, I read my
Okay.
opera one.
Okay. So I went political, of course. In 1963, Kennedy administration prohibited the travel to Cuba and made financial commercial transactions illegal for U.S. citizens. So that happened in 1963, and didn't this just happen last year that Trump opened it up?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't
Yeah.
last year.
Okay.
It was, I believe, the first year he was in office. and it wasn't
Okay.
completely opened up, but it definitely stopped being a stalemate like it had been for so long.
Yeah.
So
Well, it was interesting because of the era, and you know, because I can remember when it happened, and I was like, oh no, I'll choose that one right there. But it was political. Your turn.
alrighty, in 1828, Jules Verne was born in Nantes, France. And for those of
That's
you
the place.
who have lived under a rock, Jules Verne is one of the greatest writers who ever lived, writing such books as Around the World in 80 Days and Voyage to the Center of the Earth
Yes.
and
Journey to the Center of the
Journey to
Earth.
the Center of the Earth. There's tons of books he wrote. He inspired as much technology as Gene Roddenberry did with Star Trek. Um, there was a lot
Yeah.
of things that Jules Verne brought
To
forward.
add to it, he is also known as the father of science fiction.
Yeah, totally. He's known as the father of science fiction.
So,
And it's just like I
here,
told Tan earlier, you know, I'll
and here,
with authors like Isaac Asimov or Jules Verne, you know, any of those great ones that started off the whole sci-fi genre, the ones that actually came
yeah,
up with specific words that we completely identify with technology now. Okay, these guys are so important, and they're just kind of given a footnote in history, and it's kind of ridiculous because I know they're just authors, but they're authors that inspired the imagination of scientists. So they aren't
yeah.
just authors, they're actually the founders of our technological state that we're in, because they came up with the
So,
concepts and gave the scientists the imaginations to go towards these concepts. So I always thought that was cool.
but I thought it was cool too. And you know what today is?
What is today?
Today is his birthday.
Yeah, I know. I just said Jules Verne was born
Oh,
in
I didn't hear you
Nantes,
say it was.
France. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I didn't hear you say happy birthday.
happy birthday, Jules
Happy
Verne.
birthday, Jill.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, so here's one that makes me kind of cringe because I never thought it was right, but you know, just the way things are. In 1980, U.S. President Jimmy Carter reintroduced the draft registration.
Yep, good old
Should have,
Jimmy Carter, Mr.
yeah,
Peanut
you know, and that's
himself.
really weird. I just never expected that out of him. I mean, as he was just not, as a president, I mean, was not, he was memorable. He was a good old Southern boy, and he was a gentle person, and there's a lot of things that about him that I liked, but that was one of the things I did not agree upon because I don't agree upon the draft. I think the draft is wrong, but that's me. Your turn.
Hold on, I'm making coffee.
Are you making coffee again?
Yes, I've got a problem. So yeah,
You have a problem?
the whole time that Jimmy Carter was president, I kept waiting for him to whip out his top hat and his monocle and his cane and expose himself as Mr. Peanut, but he never did. It would have made a lot of sense, though.
You know what? The big thing about Jimmy is that he is a humanitarian.
He is, and you
Um,
know what? He's got a sense of humor. He's funny. He really
yeah,
is
he
funny.
does.
And the I loved, and I'm not going to get into the whole why these people got handed envelopes, but during Bush's funeral recently, a whole bunch of bad people received these envelopes, and Hillary happened to be sitting next to Jimmy Carter. And Hillary got this envelope, and she looked really disgusted when she read the contents. And Jimmy Carter sitting there looking at her and trying to figure out where his envelope is. And he's looking around, and it was just so funny. It was like,
Well, you got to admit it was probably Bush's last words to all of them.
yeah.
You know what it was, don't you?
Well,
we can't say it online.
I can't talk about exactly what was in those envelopes, but it was nothing good.
I'm just joking.
So
I'm just joking.
Okay, so anyway,
I have one last one.
No, yeah, I have two more. Which hold on, I have two more, which means that it's my turn.
Go.
Go, 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 red team, go. Okay. 1969.
Red team.
Oh yeah, she's the red team.
Oh.
Never mind. I'm the orange team. Okay.
I'm red.
1969, the last edition of the Saturday Evening Post went out. And by that time, the whole format had changed. So it was not as much of a staple to the American public as it had been in years previous. If you don't know what Saturday Evening Post was, that was kind of, it's really hard to explain, especially to people in this era, about publications, because the whole concept of magazines or newspapers or whatever just seems so ridiculous now. And it was a newspaper. Okay, Saturday Evening Post was a publication to where it was a newspaper slash magazine slash, yeah. But it was made famous because Norman Rockwell used to paint all of the pictures on the front of the Saturday Evening Post. So, if you don't know who Norman Rockwell is, look him up on Google and you'll recognize a lot of his artwork.
Look it up on Google.
Look it up.
Googleize it. Okay. So I have my last one.
Okay.
You ready?
I am ready.
Okay. All right. In 1992, the 16th Olympic Winter Games opened in Albertville, France.
Yep.
And I just watched the thing about the Alps and how much snow they're having to import into the Alps.
Oh yeah.
It's like, wow, this is not good. This is actually pretty bad. And I didn't know this, but they actually buy snow from other people.
Yeah.
What's wrong with snowmakers?
Well, you have to have specific temperatures for snowmakers to work.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we had the 16th Olympics there.
Yep.
I love the Winter Olympics. They're my favorite. They are.
I've always been kind of partial to the Summer Olympics.
I'll watch those guys snowboard. I will watch those snowboarders till the day I die. I absolutely love snowboarders. They have great attitudes.
Most of them do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, my last one.
Okay.
In 1994, Nelson Mandela becomes the first black president of South Africa.
Yay!
I figured I'd throw that one in since the one I read last week was about him, the announcement that he was going to be released from prison. And this is Black History Month, so,
Yeah, well, that's a good one. That's a good one. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard, guys. I'm trying not to be too political. I have a hard time with filter. It doesn't work sometimes, so you're gonna have to excuse me occasionally when I start blasting certain things going on, like certain papers getting ripped up this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
I want to talk about that so bad, and I just won't. She is in so much trouble.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I hope so, because that was disrespectful.
Yep. Well, okay. So, anyway, you got some holidays that we have.
I do have some holidays.
And I don't know any of these. I want you guys to know. See, the one thing that we make sure, and I already told her, I don't want to share. She didn't know what days I had for the same day, different year. And I don't know any of the ones that she has. And same with the holidays, is because I want there to be some surprise. You know, if it's funny, like last week was dump your significant other or jerk other. I love that one. That was awesome. That caught me completely. I almost choked on my coffee because of that. So that was friggin' awesome.
I got another one.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. So I should have went out and got a hotel room just so I could celebrate this day. It's National Bubble Bath Day. Okay? So everybody, go get that bath ready if you got a bathtub and go take a bubble bath because it's National Bubble Bath Day. And the other one, it's National Tourism Day. Oh, yay!
So all you Turons out there, this one's just for you.
Absolutely. It's also, and this is a big one, National Boy Scout Day.
Oh, yeah.
Started today.
Yep, it was incorporated. The Boy Scouts were incorporated on February 8th.
So my last one is one of my favorite ones too. It's National Fly a Kite Day. So if somebody tells you to go fly a kite, it's because they're celebrating.
Yep. Do it for America. Go fly a kite.
Go fly a kite.
For America.
We needed to be on the beach for this one, because we could be out doing whirly gigs and whatnot.
Yep, for sure.
So, okay, well, those are all the ones I have. So,
okay, I'm gonna
just remember, people, that this week is Valentine's week. Okay? Don't forget.
Okay, I've also got a certain somebody on hold that he's been friggin' cranky all day long, so hopefully he can maintain himself.
Well, I saw him on Badass.
Yeah, don't let him upload anything anymore until we check it out first.
Yeah.
Because that picture, that picture was a little frightening.
I have to agree.
He said it was one of the best pictures of him he's ever seen, but I'm thinking probably he's not seeing it through very stable vision.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you know his last name is Drunkminer.
Drunkminer. He's Martin Drunkminer.
Drunkminer. Well,
we're not supposed to talk about his first name, though.
Say his first name.
Yeah.
You said his first name.
I know he's gonna read me the right act. I've got him on mute right now, so he's probably just cussing me out.
As long as he doesn't do it while he's online here.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get him. I've got him. Okay, and here's the problem is, for some reason, we've been able to hear him pretty well, but he can't hear me hardly at all when I'm using the phone. I have to actually use the headset for him to hear me well, but that doesn't work for doing the show. So we're going to try to do this as best as I can. I did bring in my mobile speaker here, and I'm going to get this hooked up to the phone that he's...
You better get him on.
He's been on hold for 20 minutes. So, well, close to 20 minutes.
Oh, jeez. You're going to catch him.
Well, no, I told him it was going to be a minute, so... Okay, let's see... Drunkminer, are you there? Let's try this. He better not have hung up. Drunkminer, are you there?
What's shaking, bacon?
Well, how are you doing today?
Oh, you know, woke up, got up, getting lit up.
So, what are you drinking today?
Well, I call it lighter fluid.
Well, that sounds interesting. What's in it?
Lighter fluid.
That's horrible. Why would you drink lighter fluid?
Well, I got tired of blacking out. I ain't scared of the dark, but I don't like it. If fluid ain't gonna help me out of the black, might as well have lighter fluid on me.
Well,
My own damn way out.
that doesn't make any sense, man.
I don't make sense.
I can't hear him hardly.
I ain't the one asking someone who drinks lighter fluid to make sense.
Oh, that's fair enough. So, what do you have for us today?
I got a story. I don't know if you all familiar with that King Solomon. He was a king a long time ago over Israel, and he had...
Uh-oh, what happened? We lost you. Uh-oh.
So I can't hardly hear him.
Well, I lost him. I don't know what happened. I think he dropped connection.
Oh no. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, let me try to get him back.
Okay. Sometimes he scares me.
Well, it says he's still connected.
You can get him tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to try.
Okay.
She showed up in that room.
Oh, there he is. He's still talking. Dude, are you there?
She showed up there, and apparently King Solomon had
Drunkminer.
his blood so shiny that it looked like water. And
Drunkminer, can you...
so when she come in, she thought it was water, and she lifted up her dress so that dress wouldn't get wet when she was walking into it. And Solomon looked over her and thought she was wearing, like,
Okay,
her
well,
leggings or something.
he obviously can't hear me, and I can barely hear him. So, yeah, we're going to have to get him back tomorrow.
Okay. That's a good idea.
His story actually is really good. We talked a little bit about it. He was talking about King Solomon meeting Queen Sheba for the first time, and the Queen of Sheba, and it's very interesting.
It'll be a good Sunday story.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story, and I know he's going to be pissed off over this, but he's going to have to deal with it. Technology is technology.
Yeah, he needs to get closer to the porcupine.
So, yeah, anyway, apparently he's drinking lighter fluid tonight. Yeah. Don't drink lighter fluid.
Oh my gosh.
This guy is like...
And don't smoke at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. This guy distills his own, okay? And he'll sit there and light cigarette after cigarette with alcohol fumes everywhere. And it's like, don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, tell him that we'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he,
it sounds like a good story.
he,
Sorta.
kind of took a shining to you, so you're going to have to talk to him too.
Just what I need.
Hey, he's a good guy, when he's sober, which means, like, he's hardly ever a good guy.
Yeah.
Martin,
Okay.
Martin, we love you. We love you long time. Don't get your butt hurt. We're kidding.
I'm not saying that. Martin, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Alrighty. So, anyway, I just put some stuff on to the Badass Mining page, Facebook page. There is one video where White's Metal Detectors just gave away a pinpointer at one of the shows.
I so hope that they're going to be at the GPAA meeting.
Oh, I'm sure they'll at least have a booth. I mean,
well, I do, because so you guys, it's going to be happening March 21st. It's at Clark County Fairgrounds. I'll even give you the address. It's 17402 Northeast Del Road.
it's right off of I-5.
Washington.
It's right off of
What?
I-5. You can't miss it. There's a big, huge sign that says Clark County Fairgrounds. If you drive past it, you're blind as a bat, and you shouldn't be driving.
Well, it's a good thing I'm going to have a navigator, because I'm blind as a bat.
Well, you can't miss the sign.
We're going to be meeting Shawn there. I'm bringing a couple of friends of mine that are totally sweethearts. I absolutely love them.
You mean our camera crew?
So, our camera crew.
Because Shawn is
Yeah.
not allowed to run the camera, especially with an external microphone.
Daryl says he'll take over that, so I'm really happy about it.
Yep,
But,
me too.
Any of you decide? I don't even know if anybody is on. Is Nicole on?
I don't see anybody. Oh, it says Mike Detling is watching, but I do not see anybody
Mike's
else.
on there.
Yeah, hi Mike.
So, but anyway, the GPA meeting again is on March 21st. It's at Clark County Fairgrounds in, Richfield, Washington. It's only about an hour and a half drive from where I live to there. So we're gonna meet Shawn there, and we're gonna be there for 2 days.
Yeah,
right?
And if you pre-buy your tickets, they're $5 each for adults. Otherwise, at the door, they're $10 each, and that's been pretty standard. I mean, they haven't raised the prices at all. So, but if you're one of the first 100 through the door, you get free gold, just like years past.
Wow. So what time does it start? I don't have the time that says when it starts.
Okay, all the information is on the Badass Mining page. I put up both of their posts for the event. I am
Okay.
going to be posting all the updates as well. Tan kept bugging me to get the information up on the page, and I couldn't because they hadn't released any of the new information, and they just released it this week. I put it out like
Yeah.
within a couple hours of them releasing it.
Well, I'm really excited.
Oh,
I'm
me
very
too,
excited.
absolutely. It's going to be a blast, guys.
So,
It's going to, these shows are just,
I can't wait.
you can't, the nicest people that you could ever want to meet. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and
They are.
we're going to be a little bit more organized this year as far as we'll do some live streaming from there, but a lot of it is going to be recorded and put into a
Yeah.
good format because we have all the cameras
Yeah.
now to do that.
Yeah.
We've got 3 GoPros and a standalone with an external mic, so we're going to have lots of different perspectives. Tan's going to have her GoPro on all the time, so you get her perspective, you get my perspective, and then we'll have the crew. So we're gonna, I guarantee I am going to get some interviews. I guarantee it, because yeah, I can talk my way into an interview, no problem. Just can't
videotape.
just can't turn on the microphone, apparently. I'm persuasive with people, but when it comes to technology, it kind of confuses me.
That's weird because this is a guy who knows how to put computers. He's the one who taught me how to put computers together.
It's a friggin' switch. It wasn't programming. It was a switch. And in my defense, it was a brand new camera I had never used before. So
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have Sammy with me, and she's never been to any of these, and so we're hoping that they have. You know, I told her, I said the first thing we have to do is we have to go around and we have to get all the tickets and drop all the tickets off. So because they do raffle, and that is awesome because a lot of the gifts can be from something really small to something like go to Alaska for a week and go gold mining.
oh yeah, they've
That's what
all sorts. In fact, if you guys have a stamp, and see, I saw people doing this, so I know your secrets now. With the raffles, if you have a number on it, take it with you. Otherwise, you're going to spend most of your time sitting there filling out stupid little tickets.
Yeah.
There's these guys that'll walk up, they'll buy like, $100 worth of tickets, and they'll sit there with their little stamper and go, bump, 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 here you go. As you're sitting there filling out your second one.
Yeah. So, and this year I am going to buy more than the raffle tickets that we got before.
Yeah, I
wasn't aware that we could do that kind of stuff, and I didn't take any money with me. The money I spent, I bought Shawn a gift, and this year I'm taking money with me. I want to go to Alaska and go gold mining.
Yeah, and plus I think we're going to be buying a little bit of pay dirt, maybe. Just maybe.
That was one of the other things that I was looking at because I was like, I would like to do a segment of kitchen sink mining.
Yeah,
where
you mean like when I did the bathtub mining?
Yeah, sort of like that, only at the kitchen sink. So, yeah, I want to do a segment on kitchen sink mining. So all you people who can't get out and do your stuff, you can still go out and buy the pay dirt, but you can mine right out of your sink, and you don't have to bend down very low.
Yeah, that's definite. See, that's the one thing that I have always talked about is panning stations. When you're actually getting your pay dirt, you're going and running your dirt through the sluice and everything, and you're bringing it back in your buckets. When you've got to pan that out, okay, doing it on your knees or doing it bent over and everything, within 20 minutes, I guarantee you're going to be feeling it. So panning stations are awesome. And all a panning station is a box that is, chest level, that you can sit there with your pan and pan out your uncomfortable. And you can even have a bar stool sitting up there. I've seen people that had, chairs sitting all the way around the panning station. And then they've got drains and everything that they can clean out their box. But the cool thing about it is you don't lose any gold that way, because if you don't trust the panning, or if you've got a bunch of newbies that are panning and they're losing their gold inside your box, sluice box, get it back out and repan your gold. But the panning station, make sure if you are panning in your kitchen sink, have a container underneath so your dirt isn't going down your drain, because I guarantee that's going to cause a little bit of problem. I've had it happen.
Well, that was some of the things I was going to go through, but the thing is that you can bring your concentrate home, and you can do it. You can have Grandma do it. Grandma can do it. Shakes anyway, so what the heck? I'm sorry. It's just the thought process in my head. Just Grandma shaking.
Okay. Also,
I did.
Also, I put another link. Right before the show, I put this link up, and it was something that I found that is quite cool. It's the Juniper Ridge Opal Mine, and the map that they've got in this page is extremely interesting, because it shows all the opal claims in this area, and it's down in the same area as where the Sunstone collection area is. So when we go down to the Sunstones, we're definitely going to be paying the people over at Juniper Ridge a visit, because they have not just opal, but fire opal. And fire opal is one of the ones that is on my list. And you're going, Shawn, what list are you talking about? I have a list of minerals and gems that I have made it. It's my bucket list. There's different gemstones that you can get all over the United States, and including emeralds and canary diamonds and all sorts of different gemstones. And you can get them. They're in the ground. You got to mine them. And fire opals were actually within the top 3 of my most sought after gems. So if you don't know what a fire opal is, they also have some wonderful pictures on that page that I posted on to the Badass Facebook page. So make sure and check that out. It's so cool. So cool. I love opals.
Well, I really look forward to it. I'm like sitting down going, what days do I not want to work?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to work any of those days. I want to go out and mine.
Yep. Abso-friggin-lutely.
My poor boss is going to look at the schedule and he's going to go, I got it. Mind you, I have one of the greatest bosses in the world. I mean, he is an awesome guy. He totally understands my retirement.
And no, she's not talking about me. She doesn't have such a glowing report.
I do too. I love my boss. I think he's awesome.
I was talking about me.
Okay. Oh, not you. I love my boss. He's a great guy.
So, There was something else, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was that I wanted to talk about.
I don't know, but you know what time it is?
Yeah, I know. It's, yep. Indeed, I do.
Yeah, and I still have to go make brochettes. I told him what we were having for dinner tonight. He was like, that sounds really good.
Yep, indeed. An Italian meal. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it is.
I guess we'll cover what I can't remember today. We'll get Drunkminer back on tomorrow to go over his story
Hopefully.
again. Yeah, he may not even talk to me tomorrow. He's upset. I haven't even seen a DM pop up from him, which is unusual. So he
So
might
you're gonna make me talk to him.
He might like you better than me tomorrow. I don't know. It's.
I'm so iffy about this guy. Seriously.
Well, I definitely am going to try to get him a lot more clear tomorrow because for some reason I had the speaker working and it was not working appropriately, and I think the whole mic issue again is what was kicking us off tonight because he couldn't hear me at all. So I tried to jump in there a couple times and he just couldn't hear me at all, and I couldn't understand him at all. So
I couldn't hear him. I was like, okay, I got Sheba, but I can get anything else out of there.
Well,
I got lighter fluid.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, that's the thing, and we're going to have a little bit of talk on how much he's drinking before he gets on, because he is very difficult to understand the later in the day it gets. In the morning, you can almost make out what he's saying pretty clear, but by the time noon hits, you know, he's like slurring and talking.
Three sheets to the wind.
He's gone. So, but you know what? I'm not going to critique him and his lifestyle because he really has not bothered anybody. He doesn't bother anybody. He keeps to himself, and it's very interesting that we even have any contact with him because he doesn't talk to anybody. So, but he's a very interesting guy, and he has a lot of history. So.
Yeah, well, that's what you were saying, that he had a lot of history, and I'm just grateful that somebody else is wanting to jump in with us.
Well, yeah, totally.
So, okay, look, guys, I gotta go. I have brochettes to make. I've got other stuff to do for dinner tonight. I love y'all. Take really good care of yourselves. Watch the weather out there, and just know that you're thought about.
Alrighty, guys. As always, we love each and every one of you. You guys make sure to take care of yourselves and each other. And as always, we are out of here until tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 o'clock p.m. Yeah. Anyway, Drunkminer is not going to be posting any more pictures for a while because A, the picture was a little bit off, and B, the link he put on there was way off. If you need the link to Badass Mining, it is www.facebook.com/ that's a backslash Badass Mining Company / So yeah, there's a company at the end there, Martin. So alrighty, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Love ya, and peace out.